special NBA Draft edition of Bench Talk with Beard. I'm Taylor Peters alongside the head coach himself, Chris Beard. Coach, an unbelievable night in 2018 draft for Texas Tech basketball. For you as a head coach, and I guess we'll start off with Zyre Smith, who becomes just the second player overall in Texas Tech men's basketball history to be picked up in the first round. Can you just speak to what that moment was like for you to be able to be there with him by his side, as his name's called?
Yeah, it was special. I remember recruiting Zyre early in the process, talking about, thought he had a chance to be an NBA player, and he shared that view, not only because of his talent, but how hard he was willing to work. I think with Z, you got to start with the way he was brought up by his dad, Billy, and his mom, Andrea. His high school coach, JT Locklear, did a great job. And then I think our program, I think you got to give our staff, strength coach, trainer, assistants, GAs, a lot of credit too. But ultimately, Z's the one that got it done for himself, so he deserves most of the credit. But it was a big day for our program.
And on one token, you've got a guy like Zyre Smith, who is the only one and done in program history for Texas Tech. And then you've got a guy like Keenan Evans, whose last 4 years of investment and time commitment to this program will certainly not go unseen by Red Raider fans.
Yeah, simply stated, Keenan Evans, I think, is one of the best players to ever play at this school. And he certainly was probably the biggest ingredient of our Elite Eight run. Draft night was bittersweet for me because in my mind, Keenan Evans is an NBA player. But in our program, and Keenan shares some of these core values, we believe in toughness, we believe in overcoming adversity, and that's what Keenan will continue to do. All these teams that kind of passed up on him, I think, will pay the price one day when they're playing against him. But Keenan's doing well. He's continuing to rehab from his injury. He's going to be with Golden State this summer in the NBA Summer League, and he hopes to be back on the court by August or September for open gyms and what have you, and I look for him to be in the NBA. I called Keenan the morning after the draft, and I told him, you know, that it's kind of bittersweet being there without him, but I promised him that I would be at his first NBA game. The only way I won't be there is if we happen to play that same night, and even if that happens, I might ask Kirby if I can take a night off, because I'd always planned on being in that draft room with Keenan. It didn't happen. It wasn't in God's plan at this time, but there's no doubt in my mind Keenan Evans will play in the NBA.
Such a strong young man, and you mentioned how much adversity he'd had to overcome this year with just injuries. And another guy who had to do that was Zyre Smith, and we would have loved to have been able to watch him play every game this year, but unfortunately because of injury that didn't happen. But just to be able to see him picked up by Atlanta is obviously special for you.
Yeah, Zach's just getting started in basketball. I've always viewed him as a guy that can play at the highest level. You know, people forget he was a first-team All-Big 12 preseason selection, one of the top 5 players voted by the coaches. It was obviously an injury that meant a lot to our team, but Zach, you know, defied all odds with his rehab, got back on the court and had a great March for us. Really was the difference in our team in tournament play, defensively and with his athleticism. I look for Zach to kind of take the back door into the NBA, but I think he'll get there one day. He's got a great character. He loves the game, he works at it, and I think just like Keenan, he'll take a different route to get there, but he will make it one day.
Coach, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here now because I want you to be able to just sort of savor this moment and being able to celebrate with these guys, but what does this 2018 draft do for the future of this program? You
know, I think above all, it kind of validates what we do. We've got a process, and we ask our guys to do certain things and work certain ways. It's always great to have success. It validates what we do. You know, it's just like, you know, our guys can believe when we talk about it, but when it happens, when they know they're 2 baskets from the Final Four, everything that we did, we got 3 guys in the NBA mix. Now it just kind of validates everything we do, and it just brings more power to the program. So much to look forward to in that NBA season as well as in the NCAA season that's approaching very quickly for you guys. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Thanks. For Coach Beard, I'm Taylor Peters, and this is Bench Talk with Beard.